In this video, you will learn what is Tailwind CSS, what advantages it has, when and why you should use it. We will set up Tailwind CSS project locally and create several basic components, such as buttons, cards, and we will even create sidebar layout. By the end of this super crash course, you will know how to use Tailwind CSS in your projects. Tailwind CSS is utility-first CSS framework. Instead of having ready classes for components, Tailwind CSS has tiny classes. Each class contains one or two CSS properties. This example right here is more like a traditional HTML CSS example. So we have HTML defined with CSS classes, and we have CSS classes defined right here. Now let's have a look at the Tailwind CSS approach. Tailwind CSS gives you small, tiny classes, and based on these classes, you can achieve the exact same result. However, pay attention that we don't write custom CSS anymore. Now, let's set up Tailwind CSS project locally and play with it. First, I'm going to create package.json. Then I'm going to install Tailwind CSS as a dev dependency. We're going to create Tailwind CSS config file, open that config file, and in the content we need to specify that the Tailwind CLI needs to watch at all HTML and JavaScript files in our project and then rebuild it. Under source folder, I'm going to create index.html and input CSS. In the input CSS, we need to put the following Tailwind CSS directives. Now we need to tell Tailwind CLI to watch our source input file and generate output in the dis folder. When you hit the enter, you're going to see this folder created right here. It contains all the Tailwind CSS output. Let's generate boilerplate code and let's start writing. I really recommend to install the following extension, which is an IntelliSense extension for Tailwind CSS. I'm going to right click on this HTML and click open with the live server. We see obviously empty page because we don't have anything in the HTML. First, let's include the output CSS file. Now, let's give some classes to body, padding of 8 and bg gray of 100. Now, I'm going to create h2 element right here and create button. So, if we have a look in the browser so far, we're going to see two texts. They are very similar to each other. That's because Tailwind CSS resets all the styles for existing HTML elements. Now let's apply some styles. On h2, I'm going to give it a text large. Let's go ahead and give more classes like text indigo 600, which gives the following color. Let's give it border bottom and border bottom color as well to be indigo 600. Let's give it margin bottom 3 as well. So if we save this and have a look, now this is how h2 looks like. Now let's apply some styles to button. I'm going to give it background indigo 600. Let's give it text white and padding vertical 1 and padding horizontal 3. If we save this and have a look so far, this is how our button looks like. But we don't have any like hover effects or focus on border radius or anything. Let's give these also. Let's give it class rounded, and on hover we're going to change its color into background indigo 700, and I'm going to also give it transition colors so we have nice effect on mouse over. Let's save this and have a look so far. So we have rounded, and on mouse over we see this transition as well as the darker color. Now let's add more classes. We're going to give it focus ring 1 and focus ring indigo 700. So that means whenever we click on this button, we see a ring around this button. Now, let's give it also ring offset 1, and this is the final version of the button. Now, I'm going to duplicate my button and only change the color. Instead of indigo, I'm going to use emerald. Now, I'm going to duplicate this once again, and we're going to have a red button as well. I like these colors. But what advantages does this approach have? If we have to use one class for one CSS property, why can't we simply use style attribute for this? Here are a few great benefits of using Tailwind CSS rather than style attribute. Even though Tailwind CSS offers a class for pretty much anything you want, you still follow some kind of style guide. You have to follow the style guide, and at the end you create design in constraints. When using style attribute, it's very easy to get out of the constraints and create inconsistent website. Second big advantage of Tailwind CSS compared to style attribute is that in Tailwind CSS you can write media queries as well. And you know that you cannot write media queries in style attribute. You can define your HTML as a mobile first and then add media queries for tablet and desktop. Third great benefit of Tailwind CSS is that you can use hover, focus, and active states in classes. I will add two more benefits of Tailwind CSS in general. In my opinion, it's great benefit to see how your components look like just looking at the HTML. In traditional approach, looking at the following HTML, you have no idea how this component might look like. You need to go to the classes and have a look, and you will understand after that, of course. But having a look at the following HTML, you immediately know that it has certain amount of padding, max width, background white, and so on. And the last big advantage I want to mention is that using that utility classes, you can create unique components. As an example, Bootstrap offers you 6 or 7 predefined button classes. If you want to create a new one, you have to customize a few things there. But using these utility classes, you can create as many unique components as you want with different padding, different box shadow, different font size, and so on. You got the idea. Now, let's create card component. Now, I'm going to create additional h2 element with the card's title. And now let's create an actual card component. Let's create a div, which will be wrapper for the card component. And inside there, we're going to have a card image. And then we're going to have a div for the card body. And inside the div, we're going to have card title and a paragraph. We have a picture of a lovely dog. And down below, we have this title as well as the paragraph. I think I need to zoom out slightly. Now, let's apply some styles. I'm going to give classes to the card element. Let's give it background white and rounded large. And let's give it shadow as well. The card has rounded corners, but if we scroll at the top, the image is not rounded. So we need to go and give the class rounded TLG, which will round the top section of the image. And if we have a look, we see now image is rounded as well. Now let's give some styles to the card body. I'm going to give it vertical padding and horizontal padding. And now let's give classes to the card title. Let's give it font semi-bold, text large, and margin bottom 2. And this is our result. Let me give a fixed width to this card. Tailwind CSS offers you several predefined width options, but if you don't want to use predefined value, you can even still create your own custom value. Just write in square brackets, for example, 300 pixel, and save this and have a look in the browser. Alright, I think this is nice. Let me zoom out even more, and I'm going to change the background color of the body to have a great contrast. Here it is. Now let's go even farther and create a sidebar layout. For this, I'm going to create a sidebar HTML in the source file and generate boilerplate code. And let's give it also a title Tailwind CSS Crash Course. I want this layout to be fixed. That's why let's give some classes to HTML and body elements, such as height full. We need this on HTML as well as on body. H full, BG gray 100, flex, and flex call. This one simply generates display flex, and the second one generates flex direction column. I think the class names are very self-descriptive. Now let's save this and open in the browser sidebar HTML. And of course, we need to include the link right here. Whenever you create a new HTML or JavaScript file, you have to stop your npx Tailwind CSS command and then restart it to start watching on the new files as well. Now, let's create a header HTML element, and we're going to define some classes like background white. We're going to give it height of 16 and width of full. Basically, we need this header to have the full available width. We're going to give it also shadow, and we're going to give it also horizontal padding. Now, we're going to give it also display flex, justify between, and items stretch. So these will generate the following CSS. And we're going to give it also horizontal padding. Next, we're going to create a logo, and the logo should have text indigo 600, font bold, and we're going to give it also flex and items center. Now, I'm going to create one div element, which is going to be the wrapper for the navigation items. Inside there, we will have an element which by default will be hidden, but above small devices, it will have a display flex. That is how we are going to write media queries in Tailwind CSS. Now, we're going to give it also items stretch, and inside there, we will have navigation items. First, let's define home. The home will have flex and item center and text gray 800, padding horizontal. We're going to give it also color on hover, text color, as well as the background color and transition colors. Now, let's duplicate the home and create about section and create contact menu item. We save this and have a look in the browser, and we have 3 menu items. Now, let me collapse this div, and we're going to create right here another div, which will be for login and sign up. It's going to have display flex and item center. We're going to have a login button and sign up button. The login button will have text black, some padding, horizontal, vertical padding, transition colors, and the hover colors and the text colors, and rounded and margin x3. We save this and have a look. We see this is the login styles. Now, as for the sign up, we define background indigo, text white, horizontal padding, vertical padding, rounded, and on hover we have the following colors, and we're gonna give it also ring. So we save this and have a look, and this is our sign up button. If we click, we see this ring as well. Looks nice. Now I'm gonna create menu toggle button as well. We need a div which is going to be the wrapper, and we have button. Inside the button, we need icon for bars. For this, we're going to use hero icons. If you open hero icons and search for bars here, you will see a few bars icons. And this is what we're going to copy. And finally, this will give us an SVG. We can paste this SVG right here. Now, let's give it some styles. We're going to give it full height and display flex and item center. It's going to have a margin left 4. Let's define some styles on mouse over on the button itself. First, display flex and item center and justify center. Give it fixed height and width and rounded. And on hover, we're going to have the following classes and transition on hover. And this is our button. And we're going to hide this button on the large screens. So we're going to give it above small screens. It should be hidden. So if I save this, we don't see the button. We see this navigation. But if we zoom in, now this is a small screen size and we see this button, but not the navigation. All right, now let's define sidebar. Now let's define main tag right here with flex classes, and it's going to also have flex 1, which means that the body has flex and flex direction column, and the header has fixed height, so this main should take the full available height. Now let's define a side tag, and it's going to have flex column, and it's going to have BG, indigo, text white, and it's going to also have fixed width, 200 pixel, min width 200 pixel, and W 200 pixel. If we save this and have a look in the browser, this is how our sidebar looks like. Now let's define menu items inside there. We're going to have a element. This will have a display block and horizontal and vertical paddings and margins and hover colors. But here's the important thing. So if I just save this and mouse over on this, we see that the color is black. However, I want the transparent black. So next to the BG black, we just write /25. And right here we have a lot of options like 50 and 40 and 55, and you can basically have a look in the documentation, but this will generate transparent background, and this looks nice. And now I'm going to duplicate this dashboard and call it users and products and reports. And if I save this and have a look in the browser, we see nice navigation. All right. That was my Tailwind CSS super crash course. I hope you like it. If so, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. If you want to build an actual project, check my Tailwind CSS e-commerce tutorial.